Okay, next on our list of tasks is to add our list component, or at least make it do something more than just display a simple paragraph. And what we'll do, we'll head back to VS Code and let's clean up everything at the top. And what we'll do is we'll open up our list component. And inside here, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to create a property to store our members in. Now, our members are going to be not quite full members. So what we used it before when we were configuring the date picker, but we're going to specify partial. So each one of the properties inside the member is now going to be optional. And we need to bring member in as well. And what we'll also add in here is the predicate, and this is going to be a type of string, but what we'll do is we'll set this to a default, and we'll set this to liked. And then what we can do is, in our constructor, we can inject our member service. So we'll say member service of type members service. So what we'll do in here is we'll add a method called load likes. And inside this method, what we're going to do, we're going to say this.member service, and we're going to say get likes, and this takes our predicate, and then we're going to subscribe, and in the response here, what we'll do is we'll just say that this.members equals response. And we're getting the error here because, let's see, if we take a look at what our getLikes is returning, well, it's returning an observable of object. And we're going to need to update this so that we return the correct type. And what we'll do, we'll head back to our member service so that we can update that particular method. And what we'll do is just what we've done before, inside the get, we're going to give this a hint about what it's returning. And in this case, it's going to be returning partial and member array. And if we go back and take a look at our list component, then we should find that this error has now gone away. So let's open up the template for the list component. So we'll open up the list component HTML. And inside here, what we'll do is we'll add a header at the top. So we'll say div.text-center, and we'll say margin top of 3. And we'll add an h2. And inside here, we'll just check to see what the predicate is. And if the predicate is liked, then we'll add a ternary after this, and we'll just say members I like. And if it's not liked, then we're going to say members who like me. And under this, we'll add a container. So we'll say div.container and give this a margin top of 3 as well. And then we'll add a row. And inside here, what we're going to do is add a button group. And what we'll use for this, we're going to use our radio buttons that we get from NGX Bootstrap. So we'll add the button group, and we'll give the name property, because we're going to be using ng model, and we can set the name here for what we're doing. And inside here, we're going to add some buttons, 2 of them, of course. And we're going to add button btn-primary, and we're going to say it's a button radio, and we're going to set this equal to, in this case, we're going to say liked. And then we give it the ng model, so we'll say a-ng model, and this is going to set our predicate, and then we need to give it a click events, and we'll set this equal to load likes. And let's start bringing things down because I'm taking up way too much room on this line. And then inside the button we can say members I like. And what we'll do, we'll just copy this button down, and for this one what we'll set the radio button to is liked by, and we'll change the button text to members who like me. And then under this div, or at least under this row, what we'll do is we'll add another row, and we'll say div.row, and we'll give it some margin top of 3, and then we'll say div.col-2, and then we'll say a-ng4, so that we can loop over our members, and we'll say that member of members, and inside here we'll just make use of our @member cards. And what we'll do is we'll pass down our member, and we'll set this equal to member. So we should be good to go and test. And let's just make sure, actually, I typically forget this. We've got the load likes here, and what we want to do is initialize this. So we'll say this.load likes, so that these are displayed when we go to our page. So let's go and take a look and see how we're doing. And if we take a look, then obviously there's a flaw in the logic here because we're actually getting all of the members back. Interesting. So let's go, well, what we should do here, the very first thing we should do is take a look at our network tab. And let's take a look and let's just refresh this page. And if we take a look at the request that's going up to the API, we're missing something. And we can see in the URL we're missing the predicate. So all it's doing is this is being ignored and we're getting every single user back, which is not what we're looking for. So what we'll do, we'll head back to our members service, and where we've got the get likes, this should say, instead of equals, it should say predicates equals and then plus the predicate. And if we go back to our browser, then what we should find is that now we just get the members that have been liked. And take a look at members who like me. Oh, nobody. Well, nobody's liked Lisa. So let's log out and fix that. And I'll just log in as Bruce. And I'll specify the password. And Bruce, if we go to his lists, then he doesn't like anybody. But members who like Bruce should be Lisa. And if we go back to the matches, and whenever we log out, we kind of lose the gender on the start. But I mentioned before, it wouldn't be normal user behavior. So let's just like a few users as Bruce. And if we go to the list again, then now we can see that they're appearing in that list. We've got the members who like me, and everything looks fine. But what we should do when we're returning lists of data is paginate them. And what we'll take a look at next is taking a look at how we're paginating in the API, seeing if there's something we can do to make it more reusable, and then we'll do the same in the client.